Lisa Jewell. I recently had somebody ask me to do a video of me just reading. I believe they said read anything, and I am actually pretty close, probably maybe 3/4 of the way done with this book, and I am really enjoying it. I love Lisa Jewell as an author, so I thought I would read the beginning of this to you all, and then you can kind of decide if it's a book that you would like to pick up. This is like obviously not like all laid out like I normally would set up a video, but let me know in the comments if this is something that you enjoy. I could always read from a different book, or I could continue to read this book if you are interested, so just let me know what you think. And without further ado, don't let him in. Part 1. The house is spectacular. A huge white stucco villa on 3 floors plus attic rooms, and a direct view of the sea visible through tall windows that frame the vista at the back and the front. I imagine that a wall must have been taken down at some point to offer up that level of open plan space in a Victorian house. Steel beams put in, expensive stuff, just to give the owners more light and space. I feel an uncharacteristic twitch of jealousy. It's not like me to envy others. I rarely, in fact, give a thought to them. But this is a different case altogether. I turn off the van's engine and sit just for a moment, readying myself. Through the window on the other side of the house, I see shadows of movement as I pull on a baseball cap and open the driver's door. I hear the muted murmur of chatter. There are 4 cars parked outside, and clearly the day is still going strong. I go to the side of the van and pull open the door. There it is, my last delivery of the day, an extra large bouquet of white hydrangeas and roses, no expense spared, in a pink bag. On the envelope is the inscription, Nina Swan and family. I walk toward the front door, peering in subtly as I pass the kitchen window. A small group sits around the table, a mix of younger and older people. They all have wine and are dressed somberly. There is music playing, candles are flickering. I see art and photography and graphics on the wall. I see a designer kitchen in midnight blue and pink with flashes of brass and copper. Big globe light bulbs hanging at irregular intervals from golden chains, plants on shelves. Through a door at the back of the kitchen, I see huge velvet sofas, a mixed desk, a Gorillaz poster. That was my dog in the background, I'm sorry. It's the home of a Gen Z man who has made good decisions, made a success of his life, piled his building blocks one on top of the other with precision and care, but also the home of a man who made one really bad mistake that his wife and his family are going to pay for over and over again. I keep moving past the window, and then I put my finger to the doorbell. Ash thanks the delivery driver, then closes the front door behind her and carries the flowers to the kitchen. Here, her mother, Nina, her brother, Arlo, her grandmother, her uncle, her aunt, her 3 cousins, and her subconsciously runs her fingertip. Inside is a note scribbled in messy florist's handwriting with the water blotch on the ink. Thinking of you all, love and condolences, the Tanners. Who are the Tanners? Ash's mother sighs. Literally no idea. Can you put them in some water? We've run out of faces, her mother sighs again, and Ash knows that she must not mention anything more to do with flowers today. She sticks them in a vase that already holds a bouquet. The two bouquets look wildly mismatched, aesthetically unpleasing. Then joins her family at the table. Alice slaps some white wine into Ash's empty glass. Ash makes a kiss at her. The sun didn't come out today, not once, which is ironic, as Ash's father was obsessed with sunshine, chased it around the garden, chased it around the world, kept a UV lamp in his home office for gray days, studied forecasts religiously, insisted on barbecues at the merest hint of spring. He'd wanted this house because it was south-facing. He had his favorite sun trap spots in the garden, one in particular where he could sunbathe even in February, which he referred to as Ibiza. I'm going to Ibiza for a bit. He'd say on a sunny morning, a coffee in one hand, sunglasses on his head. There was always a bottle of sun cream by the back door, all year round. But today, the day they said goodbye to him, the sun stayed away. Ash liked to think maybe he'd taken it for himself, but on the other hand, no. She very much believes that dead people have no influence. He was 54. He was killed by a stranger, pushed onto the tracks under a train. He was on his way home from a restaurant opening, not one of his, but a friend's in Soho. He was very drunk. He'd been drinking tequila slammers, according to his friend. The life and soul, always the life and soul of Patty Swan. The man who pushed him was called Joe Crittner. There, done, one moment, two lives. More if you include the train driver, the witnesses, the paramedics who had to pull bits of him off the track. There's a photo album on the table. Ash and her brother, Arlo, had put it together. They'd left space in the final pages for guests to add their own photos of Dad, of Patty. Ash opens it at random pages and sighs at the sight of her dad wearing a bucket hat and sunglasses, holding a pint of beer in a plastic cup at some kind of festival. Peak 90s. Ash thinks he was born in 1970, so must have been about 25 here, the same age she is now. Where's that? She asks her mom. Mom, turning the album toward her mother. Huh, Glastonbury, of course, says Ash dryly. Were you there too? Yep, Oasis, a pulp of The Cure, boiling hot. We went with Lena and Johnny. Dad got very, very drunk, Arla suggests, and the rest. They all smile wryly. Everyone knows what Patty was like. He liked to drink, he liked to take party drugs, he liked to get stoned. He liked to listen to music all the time, always walked around with it in headphones. He liked vinyl, liked t-shirts, liked live music, liked people, liked food. Patty Swan was the most uncomplicated human being in the world. And then 2 weeks ago, a very complicated person used Patty Swan as a character in his own very complicated internal story and pushed him under a train, and now he's dead. The remains of his clan are loud now. They don't know how to be quiet, even in the fading light of the day that buried him. But the noise is riven through with something piquant and terrible. The lack of his voice, his laugh, his bulk, the fact that the the other end of the day, everyone's lives will continue without him. Ash slams the album shut, grabs her wine glass, tips it back, ignores the sugary, cloying warmth of it in her mouth, the way it leaches into the stale insides of her cheek. How will they go to bed tonight? How will they say that this day is over and the next bit begins? So then it's already on to part 2. That's just 8 pages in. I'm also really enjoying how short the chapters are in this book, and I would love to keep reading it if people are interested, or I can grab other books from my book collection and do something similar to this if it's something that you all are enjoying. So please just let me know. I thought I would do a short little bit this first time, since it's a very new and different style video for me. I love reading, as everybody knows. Love reading, love sharing books, especially books I'm enjoying. I will probably now sit down and read, pick this book up where I left off for a little while. And yeah, just let me know, I guess, if you like this. I would love to do more of these. They are actually really easy videos for me to film in comparison to some of the others, so just let me know by liking or commenting on the video. If you've gotten to this point in the video, maybe leave a door. And I will probably include this book in some sort of one of my book videos coming up, probably a book haul. And I'm actually really excited. I picked up another book of hers at the library recently, so I have another Lisa Jewell book to read when I'm done with this one, because I always just fly through her books. So thank you so much for joining me